Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadade. Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you all dear devotees for joining once again to hear and chant about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Apologies for not having it yesterday for the fact that I was traveling and there were multiple classes. There were almost three classes. So amidst that, it would have been a little too much. Uh, but nonetheless, now we are back to hear and chant about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So let's continue from the point where we discussed. We ended our discussions, the section of Mahaprabhu going and visiting Chandkazi. We spoke about the episode of Chandkazi and as to how he was against the Sankirtan movement, and then he gets a very transcendental dream of Nrsimhadev sitting on his chest and ripping apart his chest, and that causes a transformation for him. And then when he meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, naturally we see his heart melts and he accepts this. And in fact, he even gives a guarantee that his future generations will also not have or will not cause any inconvenience in the Sankirtan pastimes of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So that's pretty much where we ended our discussion. One day, Chaitanya and Nityananda were dancing at the house of Srivas Thakur. At that time, Srivas' son died, the son of Srivas. Yet Srivas was not at all sorry. Lord Chaitanya then caused the dead son to speak the knowledge of soul and told Srivas, myself and Nityananda are your sons. Very interesting that when the Sankirtan was going on, the son of Srivas left this world and Srivas was there dancing with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when the family members came and told Srivas, Srivas went inside and saw that his son has died. But he again came out and started dancing with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing, and at one point Mahaprabhu stopped. And Mahaprabhu said, today I'm not experiencing that bhav that I normally experience while dancing here at Srivasangan. What is it? There is something that has happened, or there's something that's stopping the emotions from flowing. And he looked at Srivas, and eventually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got to know that the son of Srivas has died. When Mahaprabhu got to know, he looked at Srivas and said, Srivas, why didn't you tell me? Your son has departed. Why didn't you tell me? Shiva said, my dear Lord, if I would have told you, your ecstasy would have come down. Because of me, your ecstasy would have come down, and I didn't want to be an impediment, a blocker in your ecstasy. So, my dear Lord, because of that, I didn't tell you anything. Look at the love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that his son has died, but still he is not ready to tell that to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This factually proves the point that Krishna consciousness is such that we don't go to the Lord for any material things. Srivas Thakur, His son had just departed. He could have told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, my dear Lord, bring him back to life. I have only one son. Please bring him back to life. He did leave alone saying that. He doesn't even go and tell Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that his son has died. So what to speak of going to the Lord and asking for different material things? When here a personality like Srivas is not even asking for his son back. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got to know that such and such thing has happened. Mahaprabhu went and he saw the son who was departed. Mahaprabhu touched him and practically brought him back to life. And he when the son came back to life, it is explained here, he speaks the tattva or the knowledge of soul. And the son says, well, in many lifetimes, it's almost similar to the pastime of Chitraketu Maharaj in the Bhagavatam. There also we find the same parallels as to how Chitraketu Maharaj is he did not have a son and eventually he had a son and that son departs. And then Narad Muni comes and Narad Muni touches and the child gets back and starts speaking of Tattva Siddhanta. And again the child leaves this world because the child says, which father are you talking about? In so many lifetimes I've had so many parents. So my ultimate parents are only Radha and Krishna. And again he leaves. And likewise here Srivas also, the son of Srivas, he gets up, speaks Tattva Siddhanta, and again leaves this world. And so at that time, Chaitanya and Nityananda, the Lord is saying, myself and Nityananda are your sons. You may have lost this son, but from this day onwards, we both are your sons. You can accept us. We can never give you up. Once the Lord showed his form to the tailor of Srivas Thakur, although he was a meat eater, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so kind. First of all, he gives a guarantee to Srivas that he will not leave. And secondly, he gives his darshan to a tailor who is into meat eating. The world has probably not and will never see a form as compassionate as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Saying, I have seen, and dancing in ecstatic love as through mad, the tailor became a first class Vaishnava. Hmm. Once Lord Chaitanya heard the description of Adi-lila from Srivas and became ecstatic. The Lord also played the roles of Rukmini, Durga, Lakshmi, and Yogamaya in drama performances. Once a woman took the dust from the Lord's lotus feet, and the Lord became unhappy. Because he is in the mood of a devotee, he immediately jumped into the Ganges to counteract her sins. Nityananda and Haridas Thakur raised him from the river. Now, this is normally always said that one should never touch and take the dust from the feet of a Vaishnava. Why? Because by doing that, the sins that we have get transferred to the person whose feet we are touching. Now, naturally, when we are touching someone's feet, we accept the fact that they are superior and they're advanced. And now, when we touch the feet, this is why traditionally also we never take the dust from the lotus feet of Vaishnavas. Till the time they are not willing and they don't agree to give it to us, we don't do that. We don't forcefully take their feet and start scraping and say, I want your lotus feet dust. We don't do that. Hmm. Because naturally the sins that we have get transferred there. We see in the Cross Maidan festival that happened back in the 1970s, more than 20,000 people had assembled. This was in Mumbai, Cross Maidan festival. And Srila Prabhupada was there, and Srila Prabhupada, this was a Pandal program, and so many had come. And somewhere in the back, there was this young boy with long hair and coming to India practically for the first time and never been part of any of these things. And at that time, amidst so many people, Srila Prabhupada calls this boy, who happens to be Bhakta Richard. Srila Prabhupada calls him and he comes to the stage and he goes to touch the feet of Prabhupada because that's what is traditionally done. And the moment he tries to do that, the Krishna Maharaj stops and he says, no one does it. Even we don't do it for Prabhupada. You don't touch the feet of Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada said, no, he can do it. He has a concession. He can do it. This is the first time Prabhupada ever saw him. And he's none other than His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. Very, very famous pastime. The first time, first interaction of him with Maharaj. And somehow from even a distance, Prabhupada could see that. He was there with long hair and beard, etc. But somehow these are externals Prabhupada could see. But traditionally we see we don't take the dust of the lotus feet of Vaishnavas so that we don't give our karma. So Shastra in the fifth canto of the Bhagavatam, it explains Vina Mahat Pada Rajobhishekam. Hmm. It says till the time we don't bathe ourselves in the dust of the lotus feet of pure Vaishnavas, we don't get Krishna. But now here is a contradiction. We are saying that we should not take the dust of the lotus feet of Vaishnavas, but Bhagavatam is saying we should. So how do we reconcile? Well, the understanding is when Bhagavatam says to take the dust of lotus feet of Vaishnavas, it primarily means to follow in their instructions. Hmm? Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Kariya Akya. Whatever they're saying, following in their instructions is equivalent to taking the dust of the lotus feet of pure Vaishnavas. Now that we forcefully go and say, Guru Maharaj, I want your lotus feet dust, and we like that is not how it works. We see in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime there is a personality by the name Srila Devananda Pandit. And Srila Devananda Pandit was known for his very erudite scholarship. He was a big time scholar. He was very excellent in speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. When he would speak Bhagavatam, it would be houseful. So many people would come and assemble. He was very popular in Nadia. But even before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented down to this world, Mahaprabhu did not like him. Imagine the most merciful Lord, Namo Mahavadanyaya, is coming down to give mercy to everyone, but even before his appearance, he doesn't like you. It doesn't happen always. It doesn't happen always. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even before he appeared, he did not like Devananda Pandit. Why? Because when Srila Devananda Pandit was one time speaking the Srimad Bhagavatam, many people were assembled. But at that time, our Srivas Thakur, who was so ecstatic, he also went for Bhagavatam class. And he went and sat behind. And he was hearing. And as Devananda Pandit was speaking about Krishna from the pages of Bhagavatam, our Srivas Thakur got so ecstatic that tears were flowing from his eyes, hair was standing on his head, teeth were chattering, skin going pale, because he is the Lord's associate. So naturally, when he hears about Krishna, there's going to be complete transformation. गौरांग बोलिते हवे पुलक शरीर हरि हरि बोलिते नयने भवे नीर. Tears were just flowing from his eyes, and now those people who were sitting there, they saw this as a disturbance. They thought, hey, Krishna Katha, we have to nicely hear what this person is coming and he's crying and doing all these things. This is disturbance for us. So they picked up Srivas and threw him out of the assembly. They manhandled Srivas. And Devananda Pandit, who was there, all this happened in front of him. He did not speak a word. Bhagavatam teaches us to worship the devotees. Krishna says, my devotees are more glorious than me, are more worshipable than me. Mad bhaktya pujyavidikam, Krishna says. My devotees are more worshipable than me. This is the teaching of the Bhagavatam. And here is a personality who is speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, who is serving a class, and his devotee is manhandled. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotee, Krishna's devotee is manhandled, and Devananda Pandit doesn't speak anything. All this happened before Mahaprabhu's appearance. So Mahaprabhu, even before coming down, had a transcendental vengeance against Devananda Pandit. And eventually we see Mahaprabhu was not ready to give him Krishna Prem. He was not even ready to reciprocate. When Devananda Pandit was speaking, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was walking with his associates one time. And Mahaprabhu looked at him. And Mahaprabhu told his associates, look how he has been puffed up and how he has been poisoned with pride. Shri Devananda Pandit, especially when he would speak everything except bhakti. He would give all katha, but that bhakti, which is the essence of Krishna consciousness, that he wouldn't speak. Manne dhana vijana rupa tapashrutojas teja prabhava bala paurusha buddhi yoga Naradhanani bhavanti parasya pumsam bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayutapaya. Canto 7, chapter 9, text 9, prayers of Prahlad. Prahlad Maharaj is practically saying the same thing, that if there is anything that attracts Krishna, it is bhakti. And he gives the example of the four-legged Gajendra, who just by the dint of little bhakti, he got Krishna. It is very interesting to note that when this Gajendra was in his previous life, Maharaj Indradumna, while being Maharaj Indradumna, he had chanted many verses. He had memorized many verses. And now that he became an animal, at the right time when he wanted to invoke Krishna, he wanted to remember Krishna, that bhakti that he had done in the previous life, all of that again came back at the right time. And now he could chant verses. Otherwise, when was the last time you saw an animal chant verses? Doesn't happen. But because he did that in his previous lifetime, at a time when he most needed it now as Gajendra, it came. Which means to say, by hearting verses, memorizing verses is very, very powerful. We don't know kab kaam aayega. We don't know when it will be beneficial. Maybe in this lifetime, but it's also possible maybe in the next lifetime when we need Krishna the most. The bhajan that we have done now will be useful. It's not, Krishna consciousness is not just for this lifetime, it's for lifetimes together. And actually, it is meant so that there are no more lifetimes. This should be the last lifetime. But if at all we have another lifetime, the Krishna conscious bhakti that do now can also be invoked in our future lifetime, just like what Gajendra did. Eventually, we see Devananda Pandit, who was not a recipient of the Lord's mercy. He gets the association of Vakreshwar Pandit. Vakreshwar Pandit is the Lord's dear associate, expert dancer. He was known for his dancing. Whenever he would hear about Krishna, whenever he would hear about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Vakreshwar Pandit would just dance and dance and dance. And that Vakreshwar Pandit came now to meet Shri Devananda Pandit. And eventually we see, as both were staying together, Devananda Pandit got fortunate by being in the association of Shri Vakreshwar Pandit. And now, as Vakreshwar Pandit would dance, Devananda Pandit would, wherever Vakreshwar Pandit's feet would touch, he would take the dust from there and he would place it on his head. Every time Vakreshwar Pandit would dance, he would take the dust from the place where he danced and he would put it on his head. This would be a regular routine. And eventually, by doing this over and over again, by bathing himself in the dust of the lotus feet of Vaishnavas, Vina Mahad Pada Rajobhishekam, eventually we see his heart gets transformed and he understands the supremacy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He understands that up until this time, whatever Mahaprabhu was saying was correct. So he goes back to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri and falls at the feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Said, my dear Lord, Kshamasva Mam, galti ho gayi. Please forgive me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him, and Mahaprabhu said, how is it that you, when Srivas was criticized and manhandled, you didn't even speak anything? What kind of Bhagavatam are you speaking? When devotees are manhandled, you are not saying anything. Devananda Pandit said, my dear Lord, please forgive me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him, and Mahaprabhu said, I have only one instruction for you. From now on onwards, when you speak Bhagavatam, splash the nectar of bhakti to everyone. Whenever you give katha, make sure you bring the point of bhakti. Splash the waters of bhakti unto everyone. Let people know that the essence of all Srimad Bhagavatam Chaitanya Charitam is actually bhakti. It is not just knowledge. It is not gyan. It is not amassing knowledge. Amassing knowledge, even laptop can do, even pen drive can do. We are not meant to just amass knowledge. We are meant to bring about emotions. Emotions are the only thing that humans differ from gadgets. Otherwise, you see, with AI as it is progressing, it is doing everything that the humans are doing. The only way humans separate from these gadgets or machines is our emotions, is to call out from the heart, is to cry for the Supreme Lord. And that is something we have to use and leverage to call out to Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Devananda Pandit that now, from now onwards, when you speak, splash the waters of bhakti unto everyone. And that's exactly what happened. Devananda Pandit now, after that, when he would speak about bhakti. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was highly impressed from the transformation. So here we see someone, one woman comes and takes the dust of Lord Chaitanya's feet and he becomes very unhappy. And in connection to that, we spoke about the Devananda Pandit past time, where the transformation for Devananda Pandit happened because of the foot dust of the devotees of the Lord. One who takes the dust of a great personality's lotus feet transfers his sin to that great personality. Unless the person whose dust is taken is very strong, he must suffer the sins of the person who takes the dust. Therefore, ordinary, ordinarily a Vaishnav should not allow it. One should not. Now comes a very sweet pastime. This is the last part of Adi-lila. So we wanted to speak about Madhi-lila, but I thought of starting from the end of Adi-lila. So last 1 week we are speaking Adi-lila, and now this is the last section of the Adi-lila, after which we are hopefully going to enter into Madhi-lila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was dancing at the house of Srivas Thakur, one time very interesting pastime occurred. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing there, he was calling out, Gopi, 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 Gopi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was calling out in the ecstasy of the gopis, Gopi Bhav. Hmm? A student questioned the Lord as to what pious results he would get by chanting Gopi instead of Krishna. That student came to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, My dear Lord, why you are chanting Gopi, Gopi? Hey, you should not chant Gopi, Gopi, chant Krishna, Krishna. He is telling to the person who is Krishna himself. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is chanting Gopi, Gopi, Gopi. And here this boy comes and says, Hey, what benefit you will get by chanting Gopi? Instead, maybe you should chant Krishna. The Lord became very angry and rose to strike the student with a stick. You see, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also the son of Sachimata. And Sachimata is not different from Yashoda Maya. So the child learns from the parents only. In Krishna Lila, Mother Yashoda is running behind Krishna with a stick. And Krishna saw that. So now in Gaura Lila, he has learned from his mother. And now when the boy comes and says, Why Gopi Gopi? Krishna, in the mood of Mother Yashoda, is picking up a stick and running behind him. He runs and runs behind him and drives him away. Krishna Lila and Gaur Lila flow back and forth. The Lord is learning from his own mother. He ran away in fear, and the devotees pacified the Lord and brought him home. The student described this incident to thousands of other students, who then criticized the Lord for trying to strike a Brahmana. They even decided to strike him back if he again acted like this. The omniscient Lord contemplated on how to rescue them. Because of Ninda Aparad, offense of blasphemy, they will be unable to take up bhakti. Now, naturally, when you try to harm Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or when you think of harming Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how can bhakti ever rise in anyone's heart? What to speak of Mahaprabhu? Even if someone tries to do that to a Vaishnav, bhakti will not rise. And here, this boy is trying to harm Chaitanya Mahaprabhu if something like this happens again in the future. I came to deliver the fallen souls, but now the opposite has happened. Now we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here is thinking that I came to rescue everyone. I came to give Krishna Bhakti to everyone. But here, these people whom I came to rescue, now they are going against me. They are creating their own party and they are thinking in the future, if something like this happens, they will come and strike me and they will hit me. This is not the purpose for which I invented. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thinks to himself, there is only one way I can counteract all this. If I take sannyas, Then seeing the sannyas order, seeing the sannyas attire, the same people who now criticize me will start offering respects. Because we see naturally, whenever a sannyasi walks, we offer obeisances. That ashram is such, it grabs a lot of respect and a lot of attention. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thinks to himself, they are not respecting me in this way. Until the time they don't respect, I cannot preach Sankirtan movement. But if I take up sannyas, then through the sannyas order, there will be respect in the society, and now I can preach Nam Sankirtan. This is primarily the reason Chaitanya Mahaprabhu decides to renounce everything. For the highest sake of preaching, Gauranga Mahaprabhu decides to leave everything and take sannyas. Now, this is one pastime. If you remember, couple of sessions back, I had told that we discussed one pastime, and I said, please remember this. This will come back again in our discussion. Just to remind, we discussed the pastime where one time one Brahmana wanted to come to the house of Srivas Thakur, and Srivas Thakur was there inside, and Mahaprabhu was also dancing at Srivas Angan. And this Brahmana was not given entrance. He was not given entrance, and he cursed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. May all the material attachment, whatever is there, everything should be taken away. You should not have anything. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he heard this, Mahaprabhu became very happy. Good. This is exactly what I wanted. Now what happens? Because of these two pastimes, the curse of the Brahmana and for social respect to preach Sankirtan movement, Mahaprabhu takes the solution of accepting sannyas so that both of these things can be achieved. The word of the Brahmana can be fulfilled so that people don't criticize in the future that, hey, Brahmana's Vakya, he has said something and it is not coming out true. So Mahaprabhu fulfills the word of the Brahmana. At the same time, after this pastime of Gopi Gopi, to have social respect in Samaj, so that preaching of the Sankirtan movement can be done, our Gauranga Mahaprabhu decides to accept sannyas. Shachinandan Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. We see that back in the early 1990s, when the re-establishment of the 24-hour Kirtan was done in Krishna Balaram Mandir, that time many people would come and go, and they would sing for some time in that Krishna Balaram Mandir, and they would go, and there was no one to constantly help Sripada Prabhu. People would come, people would go, and he would, even the rickshawalas that would come, Indra would catch them and we say, come and play some mridanga, play some kartal, and they would say, we don't know to play, and Indra would say, whatever you know to play, play, but just give me some beat, just give me some tal. And different devotees would come this way, but eventually it was also seen that people would criticize, and as 24-hour Kirtan gained more attention, people wanted control. No one was ready to start, but once Indra started it, now everyone wanted to. अब सबको आके मेवा खाना है. No one is ready to start that thing, but now it was started. Everyone wanted credit. Everyone wanted praise and appreciation. And things were not exactly going how Sripad Ayendra Prabhu decided it to go. So Sripad Ayendra Prabhu had applied for sannyas with the same reason of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ayendra Prabhu had applied for sannyas so that seeing his sannyas attire, people will respect. And the 24-hour Kirtan can go on with the utmost standing and the desires that he has as to how he wants to take it ahead. So just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for the sake of social standing, wanted to take sannyas so that there is respect to spread Nam Sankirtan. Ayendra Prabhu similarly wanted to take sannyas only so that for the social aspect he can spread Nam Sankirtan. But eventually when that request went to Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj did not accept that reason. He said this is not a valid reason to take sannyas. And so Srila Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj is also very, very glorious. So he rejected that sannyas appeal of Sripada Indra Prabhu. And that is when we see after that sannyas appeal got rejected back in the 1990s, 1992 or something. That's when, after that incident, Sripad Ayendra Prabhu started wearing a dress like that of the Babajis. Like you find in Radharaman temple, like the crisscross and with the back exposed. It was after this. Because prior to that he would wear the brahmachari attire and then he applied for the sannyas, which didn't go through, and then as a transcendental protest, Ayendra Prabhu changed his attire. And he went like the Goswamis and the Babajis of Sri Vrindavan. So the same mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The origin is here. Gauranga Mahaprabhu wants sannyas so that people around start respecting, and now the Nam Sankirtan can be spread more easily. I came to deliver the fallen souls, but now the opposite has happened. I will take sannyas, and then the blasphemers will offer me obeisances and be relieved of their sinful reaction. So here also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is thinking about them. Unka uddhar kaise hoga? Then by my grace, bhakti will awaken in their pure hearts. By taking to the renounced order, the Lord hoped to command respect from social orders, from all social orders, and thus preach Krishna Prem all over the world without restriction. The same point that we discussed. Even if the foolish people criticize and offend the Lord always thinks of their welfare and tries to uplift them. In this world, we see if we get criticized, then we think of revenge. Badla kaise le? Arey, this devotee said that that person did this. अब इनके साथ बदला कैसे ले? But we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even after he gets criticized, he thinks about their benefit. If I take sannyas, oh, then I can benefit them because naturally now they will offer me obeisances and they will be, all the offenses will be nullified for them. Meanwhile, Keshav Bharati came to Nadia. Just as a side point, it is pronounced as Nadia oftentimes because it's a D, so um, we may end up saying it as Nadia or Nadia. Many times I've heard people say it as Nadia, but it is Nadia, it is the, it is not the. No, in Devanagari we have the and the. So it is Nadia. Nadia Godru mein Nityananda Mahajan and not Nadia or Nadia. So meanwhile, Kesha Bharati came to Nadia and Nimai petitioned him about accepting sannyas. Kesha Bharati replied, "You are the Lord. I must do whatever you cause me to do. I am not independent." Kesha Bharati went back to his village, Katwa. Eventually, we see after Kesha Bharati had accepted that he will give sannyas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was now fully convinced that he wanted to take sannyas. He told very few of his associates like Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Brahmananda Bharati, Gadadhar Pandit, etc. Very handful knew that the Lord is now going to take sannyas. The whole of Nadia didn't know. Because if the whole of Nadia knew, how will they allow Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to leave Nadia and go to Jagannath Puri or go anywhere? Because sannyasi means you're traveling, which means now you will not be at Nadia for long. How will anyone allow? Even we see Mother Yashoda did not allow Krishna to go to leave Vrindavan and go to Mathura. Even if it was just 1 or 2 days, Mother Yashoda had so much love for Krishna. She said, Lala, no, we will come with you, but you don't go. Krishna begged, he said, Maya, it's only 1 day, I will come back. It's only 1 day. But Mother Yashoda, the motherly instinct, she knew that something was off. Mother Yashoda was not ready to allow Krishna to go to Mathura. And finally, eventually, somehow Mother Yashoda gets convinced. But Krishna's friends are still not convinced. One friend of Krishna, he came to Krishna and said, Krishna, I will wait for you. Till the time you don't come back, I will not have my prasadam. We will have together. All these years, Krishna, we have had together. Till the time you don't come back, I will not have. Krishna said, I will come back only in the evening. He said, okay, I will wait till evening. Krishna said, it's possible I will come tomorrow. He said, okay, I will wait for you till tomorrow, but only when you come back. Hmm. Sakha, sakhadati iti sakha. Sakha means with that person whom you can sit down and honor prasadam. Sakhadati. Krishna said, it's possible, I will come day after tomorrow. That friend said, Krishna, no problem, you come day after tomorrow, but we are friends, right? Friends for life. So when you come back, that's when we will have. Krishna said, it's possible, I may come back after 1 week. The friend said, of course, Krishna, no problem, I will still wait for you. But we will come, you come back, and then we will sit down and we will have. Krishna said, it's possible, I may come back after 1 month. The friend, he said, okay, I will still wait for you, Krishna. Even if you come after 1 month, I will still wait for you. Krishna said, it's possible, I'll come back after 3 months. His friend said, Krishna, I will still wait. Whether it's 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, Krishna, I will still wait. Krishna said, it's possible, I'll come back after 6 months. His friend said, Krishna, I will still wait for you. Even if it's 6 months, Krishna, I will still wait. Krishna then said, it is possible, I may never come back. When Krishna said this, tears just started flowing from the eyes of this friend. He said, Krishna, first you started by saying you will come back in the evening. Then you said you will come back tomorrow. Then you said you will come back day after tomorrow. Then you said 1 week. Then you said 1 month. Then you said 3 months. Krishna, that was also okay for me. Now you're saying you will never come back. Krishna, why? Is there anything wrong that I did that you don't like to sit and eat with me? They are all little friends. Krishna, please come back. All that we have is just you. All that we have is just you. Krishna, please come back. And they are not asking anything from Krishna. All that he is asking is he wants to sit and honor prasadam with Krishna. When Krishna hears this, tears that is flowing from the eyes of Krishna. Krishna embraces this friend. These Vrajavasis are very dear to the heart of Krishna. Krishna loves them like no one else. This is why Krishna time and again, in everything, even in Bhagavad Gita, remembers the Vrajavasis. In every place, he remembers the Vrajavasis. In Dwaraka also, when he's there with Rukmini, he's thinking about Srimati Radharani. When Krishna sleeps in Dwaraka and he gets up in the morning, his pillow is completely wet because all night he's crying Radhe, 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 Radhe. And Rukmini is thinking, who is Srimati Radharani? We are giving him everything, but he's still remembering Vrindavan. The land of Sri Vrindavan is supremely glorious. And there is a reason why Krishna loves the Vrajavasis. The aim and objective of Krishna consciousness is only to become Vrajavasis, dear devotees. Krishna consciousness means the art of becoming Vrajavasis. This mood of Vrindavan can be cultivated anywhere. But by cultivating this mood in Vrindavan, we get 1,000 times the benefit. And we become qualified to go back to Krishna fatafat as soon as possible. This friend embraced Krishna and said, Krishna, please come back. All that I have is just you. I don't have anyone else. Eventually, we see Krishna goes to Mathura, fights Chanor and Mushtik, and comes to Maharaj. But due to different political reasons, somehow Krishna finds it difficult to come back. This friend of Krishna, it's been 5,000 years. Dear devotees, he's still waiting for Krishna, so much so that the Vrajavasis say, waiting and waiting and waiting for Krishna, he has become like a deity. He's not a deity, but waiting for Krishna, he's become a deity. He is none other than Puchirika Lota Baba. Because when you do Govardhan Parikrama, he comes in the backside. Poonch. Poonch means tail. So the tail part of Giriraj is where this deity is located. Poonch. Poonchirika Lota Baba. Lota. He is waiting when Krishna, Bhagavan kab lौट कर आएंगे फिर से. So he's still waiting. Krishna, please come back. It's been 5,000 years. So he's not a deity. He is the friend of Krishna who is now waiting for Krishna. He has become a deity. But actually, he's a person. So those devotees who have done Govardhan Parikrama would have seen Pushtika Lota Baba. And those who have not and who have not been to Vrindavan, let us hope and pray that through the medium of Hari Katha, and by the mercy of devotees, we can all go to Vrindavan Dham and go to these places and sit down and absorb ourselves in the mood of a real Vrajavasi. Because the aim and essence of human life is to become a Vrajavasi. In the morning Tulasi Arati also we sing the same thing. Namo Namo Tulasi Krishna Preyasi Namo Namo Je Tomara Sharanalo Tara Vancha Purna Hoy Kripa Kori Karo Tare Vrindavanavasi Moro e Abhilas Vilas Kunje Diovas Noyane Heribo Sada Yugala Ruparasi E Nivedana Dharo Sakhiranugatā koro sevādhikaro diye koro nij dasi dina Krishna dasa ko hai e jina mora hoy Shri Radha go Vinda preme Sadaina bhasi. What is this Tulasi Arti? Every line is centered on Vrindavan Dham. Moro e Abhilas Vilas Kunja Diovas. My dear Vrinda Devi, give me Vas, residence in Vilas Kunja, in the Kunjas of in the Kunjas. But where are the Kunjas? Kunjas are only in Vrindavan. There are no Kunjas in Dwaraka, no Kunjas in Mathura. Kunjas, groves are exclusively in Braj. So what are we praying in the morning? To become Vrajavasis. Hey, Koro. My dear Brenda Devi, please shower your mercy so that I can follow in the footsteps of the Sakhis. Seva Adhikari Koro Nija Dasi. Give me the service of becoming the maid servants of Radha and Krishna. Dina Krishna Dase Koi, Ei Jina Mora Hoy. Sri Radha Govinda Prema Sada Yena Bhasi. This is our hope. We want to bhasi, swim in the waters of Radha Krishna Yugal Prem, which means the aim of Krishna consciousness is to become Vrajavasis. And once we are a Vrajavasi, Krishna really loves us because the mood of a Vrajavasi is very, very selfless. And this mood can be cultivated anywhere. But ideally, this mood can be cultivated faster in the land of Sri Vrindavan Dham. Because you get the mood, जिनके साथ संग करते हैं उनका रंग चढ़ जाता है ना? तो अगर यदि वृंदावन धाम में रहे और ब्रजवासी गण के साथ सदैव संग करे तो बहुत जल्दी उनका रंग हम पर चढ़ जाएगा। यदि बाहर रहे, यदि मुंबई बेंगलोर इत्यादि जगह में रहे, यहाँ भी ब्रज की जो भक्ति है वी कैन कल्टीवेट, बट इट इज गोइंग टू टेक टाइम बिकॉज द सेल्फलेस भाव ऑफ द ब्रजवासीज may not be prominently seen like it is seen in Sri Vrindavan Dham. So as much as possible we should make endeavor to go to Sri Vrindavan Dham at least once a year, if not more. And if we are in India, we can at least go twice a year. Coming from outside of India, it's very difficult. There is a lot of expenses involved, lot of planning involved, lot of challenges are there. But if those who are in India, whenever little time you get, vacation means it should be Vrindavan. No Kulu Manali, no Darjeeling, Ooty, Viti. It should be land of Sri Vrindavan. Because nothing gives more happiness to the heart than Sri Vrindavan. When you go Darjeeling and Ooty and all those places, it is great. From a sightseeing standpoint, weather standpoint, clicking photographs, it may be great. But what after that? The heart is not getting transformed. We are spending money for some photographs to put it on social media for some likes, and after that, what? Nothing. But one visit of Vrindavan Dham can transform our lives. You see, so many people say, प्रभु जी, I went to Vrindavan once. बस एक बार गए. After that, I didn't feel like leaving Vrindavan Dham. It may have been 20 years back, but devotees still remember that. Just going to Braj once can transform our heart completely in the right spirit. So, if we are working and we have little money as our savings and we have some vacation time, or no, if we can take leave from our office whenever it is possible, vacation means Vrindavan Dham. Not just during Kartik. Kartik it is very crowded, but other times also. As much as possible going to Sri Vrindavan Dham. Rupa Goswami puts this as Panchaga Bhakti. Sadhu Sangha, Nam Sankirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Sri Murti Seva, and Vrajavas, Dhamvas. Going to the land of Sri Vrindavan. Now, of course, when we say Sri Vrindavan, the same holds true for Sridham Mayapur also. Not different. Absolutely not different. We are speaking about Vrindavan primarily because that's what the Tulasi Aarti speaks about, and that's what Puchrika Lota Baba is also in the mood of being a Vrajavasi. Meanwhile, Keshav Bharati, when he came to Nadi and Nimai petitioned him about accepting sannyas, Keshav Bharati replied, "You are the Lord, and I must do whatever you cause me to do. I am not independent." Keshav Bharati went back to his village, Katwa. Lord Chaitanya went there and accepted sannyas. That night, Mahaprabhu left home without telling anyone. His wife had a doubt. Vishnupriya Devi had a doubt. But next day morning, by the time she got up, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with some of his associates had already left Nadia to go to Katwa. And Sachi Mata and Vishnupriya Devi were practically left alone, crying and crying and crying. And both were trying to console each other because both had left. Both were bereft of Shachinand and Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And for Sachi Mata, it was a big blow to her heart because Jagannath Mishra had already left this world, her husband. Her older brother Vishwarup had already taken sannyas. The only solace that she had was the younger son, Nimai, who was married, but now he also out of nowhere accepts sannyas to preach Nam Sankirtan. In this way, we find Nityananda Prabhu, Chandrasekhar Acharya, and Mukunda Dutt went with the Lord to perform all the necessary duties. In the heroic, this is the last paragraph, in the heroic character of Lord Chaitanya, as described in the Adi-lila, one can find the charm of a child in his sweet childhood pranks, the high intellect of a scholar in his defeating Keshav Kashmiri, the expertise of a teacher in his instruction to Sachimata, the humility of his disciple, the humility of a disciple in his acceptance of initiation from Ishwarapuri, the great valor of a leader in his inspiring millions to revolt against Kazi of Navadvip, the ecstatic mood of a devotee in his Gopi Bhav, the magnanimity of a devotee in his decision to take sannyas, the compassion of a saint in his delivering Jagai and Madai, and the loving intimacy of friendships in his dealings with his associates. Thus ends the Adi-lila of the Śrī Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pada ki Jai. Shri Adi-lila of the Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada, who so mercifully translated all this painstakingly in the English language for all of us ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Thank you all very much, dear devotees. Hare Krishna. With this, we end the Adi-lila of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. From tomorrow, we start the Madhya-lila of this epic magnum opus scripture. Thank you all very much.